This is a message going out to every Black Democrat in America, coming from someone that was born and raised a Democrat in the Deep South, by the way, who then left the party after becoming an adult and realizing the true history of the Democrat Party and what they still are today. The enslavement of Black Americans. And I hope that maybe coming from someone that was a Democrat, that you would understand and step up and do the right thing this November. Today, June 19th, aka Juneteenth, is a federal holiday in America to celebrate the day that Republicans freed the Democrat-controlled slaves. Although this day commemorates the enslaved Black people learning of their freedom on January 1st, 1863, did you know this only applied to former Confederate states in the South? Those that lost the Civil War to the Union? Democrats continue enslaving Black people in the states that were part of the Union that never attempted to secede. This remained so for the next 2.5 years until the ratification of the 13th Amendment of the Constitution. Then and only then was it truly illegal for any state in America to own slaves. But that never stopped the Democrats. In fact, it only pissed them off and made them more upset. So they went about enslaving Black people in other ways, most of which to this very day are still going on. They fought to keep segregation and won for many, many years. Blacks would go to their own schools and not allowed in the white schools. Blacks would go to their own restaurants and not allowed to eat with white people. Blacks would even have to drink out of their own water fountains in public places and even use separate bathrooms and not use the one that was used by white people. Blacks would even be segregated if they joined the United States military, starting at the Civil War and not ending until the mid-1950s, well after World War II. But even that was not enough for the Democrats. And they realized when Republicans were able one day to have the majority in the House and the Senate, and back in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, they had to do something more drastic. They had to do something to keep Black people enslaved. So they founded the KKK. That's right, the Ku Klux Klan, an organization to attack Black people, hang them from trees, tar and feather them, burn them alive, drown them in rivers and lakes, burn their homes and businesses, and burn crosses in their front yards, anything to intimidate them. But even that was not enough, so they founded Planned Parenthood, an organization for the sole purpose of having Black women abort their pregnancies so they could eradicate the Black race. Even to this day, it's the Democrat Party that continues to support and fund Planned Parenthood, but yet they say it's for all women, our body, our choice. Then they went after the Black community, where they lived in one of the last ways to keep Black people enslaved. They set up government handouts to keep Black people relying on them. They kept them in their own sections of the cities in every state. And that stands today. These parts of the cities are the poorest, most run-down, dilapidated, drug and crime-infested areas of every state in America. Think about it. Is there a Black community in America where the race thrives with housing, schools, and businesses? No. Is there a Black community anywhere in America that is not overrun with drugs and crime? No. What do we see happening in these Black communities that is now an epidemic and billion times worse than COVID ever could have been? Black on Black shootings, Black on Black crime. Where do you see it the worst? Every city that elects a Democrat mayor in America. You don't see this in cities run by Republican mayors, do you? Think about it. Where do you see Black Lives Matter organizations marching in the streets and setting stores on fire, setting police cars on fire, burning down police stations? The simple answer: Democrat-controlled cities. It's also where you will have the latest wing of the KKK. And it's in full force, doing the same things to these communities. And they are a group of mostly white, young thugs. They call themselves Antifa. Facts matter. Sadly, Republicans in Congress don't have the balls to call it out for what it truly is, nor does the news media. But I do. And of course, by speaking the cold hard truth, I'll be labeled by Black people and white people as a hateful bigot, as somebody that's a racist, a skinhead. I've heard it all before. When you speak the truth, there are people that do not want to hear it. But mostly, it's not the Black community that attacks me. It's white liberals and white Democrats. When Black people speak the truth, as I have, they're labeled by these same Democrats and liberals as Uncle Tom, siding with white supremacists. How sad. Because if we recognize what the Democrats and liberals are doing to the Black race, then if we don't recognize it, it's never going to be fixed. It's never going to be corrected. It's only going to continue to get worse. And more Black people will die because of the Democrat Party. I hope this is a wake-up call. I hope that you will share this video all over social media, because it's time that people that are former Democrats speak up and tell you the truth about that party that started with enslavement of Black people and to this very day is still enslaving Black people. Yet, where do most Black people place their vote? On Democrats. It's time that we wake up and realize the truth. Look it up, study it, and don't just listen to me. Listen to the other strong Black leaders that are conservatives and Republicans screaming from the top of the hills about what is actually going on, like Senator Scott or Candace Owens, not Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, and definitely not the NAACP. Those people do not care about the Black communities in America, and they're hell-bent on destroying them. Thank you for listening. Again, I hope you will share this video with your friends and family as well as on social media platforms. Happy Juneteenth. Remember who did this to you to bring about this holiday. And it sure as hell was not the Republican Party. God bless.